Evening, everybody. So, in Ian Fleming's Moonraker, James Bond, describes his approach to finance, which is basically die with no money in the bank. Good idea. How could I achieve that? I know. Modular synthesis. Yeah. I took the plunge. I've bought my first modular system. Should we take a look? So here she is, the Cre8audio Nifty Bundle, which is this nifty case and these two modules, a sort of sequencer arpeggio-y kind of module and a kind of oscillator LFO module. And yeah, like two white cables, two blue cables, two green cables, which are obviously color-coded by their length. That's what you get in the box. That's it. But it is quite a good deal because you get a case and you get two modules, and that's coming in about 250 quid. I think even a bit less than 250 quid. Prices may vary where you are if it's available, but and this has been around for a while, right? It's been around for about a year. And what they've essentially put together is like essentially a proper little starter kit, right? Where you get the case, a sequencer, and actually two oscillators. Now the real beauty of this system isn't the fact that it's just, it's a fairly sort of nicely made case. It's made of metal. It's made of wood. I think the real magic and the real selling point about this case isn't necessarily the modules. It's what's going on here and what's going on here. So this is a case with built-in USB and MIDI, and obviously just a single mono out. But just think about that. So it can do USB from your sequencer, from your live setup, from your Logic setup, from your Pro Tools, sending MIDI out over to USB or via your MIDI interface, which is then going to surface that CV out through here to then control your modules, which you then output here into your mono output. Now that's pretty cool. I mean, I know there are lots of modules that you can buy. There are sort of MIDI CV converters, USB CV converters, while I've got my headphones on. So obviously those modules exist, and nothing new about that. But because they've built all that in to the case, that's less space that's going to be taken up in your actual unit. So you can get more good stuff about kind of making noises and modulating noises and mangling noises. Go away, and you feel like you're sort of using valuable space with those kind of more utilitarian applications. So for that reason, this seems like a pretty sweet deal, I have to say. Let's just take a look at the oscillator module. So we've got two oscillators. So with tune, filter, and then wave type, and then the second one also tune. That's width, as in Pulfit's modulation, and also waveform there. And then we have an LFO underneath it, which you've got, rate depth and waveform. So already, you've got some solid options there of, you can control the filter of oscillator 1 with the LFO, or you can control the pulse width of oscillator 2 with the LFO. By the way, I'm not an expert in this kind of stuff. I'm still learning. This is a reason for sort of investing in this kind of thing, is to learn. So, don't be like, oh, Professor Mark says this. It's like, I'm here to learn. But so that's what I've picked up, initially. And then this cellz sort of sequencer is a bit of a mystery, I've got to be honest. Let's take these off. It seems a bit random, but that's sometimes a good thing. But it can do all the things like, you could put the LFO into that, so you could control the kind of the speed of the sequencing from the LFO, or obviously you could use the clock out. So in the demo you just heard, I was clocking the unit from my DAW. So already that's pretty cool, right? Because we can whatever we've set up on the modular, we can instantly clock that to our project that we're working on in Reaper, Logic, Live, or whatever. That's pretty sweet. Now, before worrying too much about the modules, let's just think about what opportunities this box will give you, given that we've got the USB from your DAW into this, and then it's sending a clock out here. So that means, I don't know, if you had a module that didn't have MIDI and only had sync in, you could clock it from your DAW. So you could clock the Volca Modular from your DAW. So again, whatever you set up here, you can clock that to your project that you're working on. Hey, happy days. And likewise, not just the Volca Modular, but the Volca Sample, or actually any Volca that has sync in, or anything that has sync in, you can also sync that via the Nifty case to that module. So here's the Volca Sample. And there's more. As well as just having obviously the clock out, it's going to be sort of synced via your USB. You've also got CV out 1 and CV out 2 and gate out 1 and gate out 2. So again, if you've got a module that has CV in, like, oh, I don't know, the Volca Modular, there's CV in, you can then play this from your DAW. Amazing. So you don't need to worry about programming the step sequencer here. You can just load up some MIDI, plug in your Nifty, send that through USB, do your CV out into CV in here, and then I didn't read in the manual, but I figured out how to patch up the Volca Modular so the CV is controlling the oscillator in terms of pitch. So it's, as I say, so in this clip we're about to hear, we're playing the Volca Modular with MIDI from our DAW. Okay, let's wrap this up before this video gets too long. So there we go. So it's my first modular kit. This is a new world for me. So let's see how it goes. I think the idea that you can build your own instrument is pretty appealing. So, you know, for me, I'll be looking to do something that hopefully can fit into my live rig, and by having like that MIDI and USB control, that makes that a bit easier. Maybe something for processing external audio. I'm thinking about processing the bass guitar, processing the guitar. That could be super fun. So let's see. Yeah. I don't know whether anyone out there has also got this and is using that. Using it. I'd be really interested to know your thoughts on it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Did you get rid of these modules straight away? Did you keep them? I think they're certainly worth having a bit of a look at. Again, as a kind of starter. All right. Anyway, cheers, folks. Some people say buying the modules gets addictive. I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, you know, you just got to take your time. Beans on toast for the rest of the month, I think. Now, yeah, and we'll cut that bit.